What's up, guys? The UFC is back with a star-studded weekend of fantastic Apex fights. Um, yeah, we're back. We're real back to the Apex. We've got Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze 2. We're gonna be making fight predictions and giving some betting advice based on what we think's gonna happen. We're going to start with the early prelims, end with the main event here, and, yeah, looks like it'll be a fun, awesome... There could be some good fights on this card, all jokes aside, but, anyways, let's get into breaking down the fights, and then we'll check on how we've been doing recently with fight picks, as we do. We're going to start off with Yanisi Dubin versus Carly Judice. We're just going right into the awesome fights, huh? We're just going to do that. Just right into another one, huh? Just it's bangers all night. First two fights of the card. A very good time to go order your food, cook something nice for yourself, shower, take a piss, shit if you need to, smoke break if that's your vice. Anyways, yeah, we'll be moving right into this. Moving on to the first fight of the night, we've got Andre Lima versus Daniel Perez. I'm going to be picking Andre Lima. I think he's actually going to pick up the finish in the late rounds. His striking's pretty technical. He is a flyweight, so I do worry about him actually getting the finish. But his skills have been pretty good. I know he's got decisions and the bite, but I genuinely feel like he's kind of coming into his own a little more as of late, and I think he picks up the finish here in the late rounds. Daniel Perez is just not a fantastic level of fighter, although, he's beaten some decent guys. But you look at the guys early in his career where they have losing records. You don't want to see that on a guy's career, especially when the guy from Contender Series is already fighting guys with much better records. I will be picking Andre Lima to get a finish in this fight. Oh, Jesus. A lot of tails tonight, huh? A lot of tails. Moving on to the second fight of the night, we've got Josiah Musasa versus Carlos Vera. I think that Josias is the better fighter of the two already. And this is coming from the Contender Series. I do think that I just think he's gonna his finishing ability is a little better than most bantamweights, I guess. But it was against lower end competition. But his fight in the Contender Series was pretty good. Carlos Vera is an old man for bantamweight, especially. I'm going to be picking Josias by, honestly, a first round KO. I think first round, he's going to come out wild, kind of the way Contender Series wants you to be. He may come out, I don't know. He may come out with a evolved skill set, but I assume he's going to come out trying to take the dude's head off. Contender Series kind of pushes for that kind of thing, and he's one of those fighters that tries that. Kind of gassed him out in the first fight, or in his fight too, if I'm remembering right. Moving on to Su Young Yu versus AJ Cunningham. I don't love these guys from Road to Contender Series. It's practically the same thing in my eyes. I don't love these dudes from Road to UFC. They fight lesser in competition in my eyes, but I just have a hard time trusting these Asian prospects. outside of the Korean ones. He is from Korea. AJ Cunningham has lost his only fight in the UFC. He lost his fight in the Contender Series. He's only beaten a guy with a losing record as of recently. I'm going to be picking Su Young Yu to get this fight done by, I guess, split decision. It just doesn't seem like a fight that'll get finished. Moving on to the heavyweight division. We've got Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Ryan Spann. This is actually a tough fight to call. Waldo Cortez Acosta, pretty sure, he is the guy who just fraud checked Rebellis to Spain in Waldo's last fight, not in Rebellis's. He has had like 3 karate combat fights since then, all by KO, but nobody's taking him down there. So, Waldo showing the brain at heavyweight to be able to take down one of these freak athletes, quote unquote. But I think that Ryan Spann, he's fought real fighters his whole UFC career, it feels like. Whereas Waldo Cortez Acosta has fought nothing but just blobs. And then Rebellis to Spain, who we learned was just a guy who, if you touched his knees, legs, he's just going to topple over and give up. I think Ryan Spann will be the more well-rounded of the two fighters. I could see him getting a knockout. I actually would rate him by submission a little more. If Waldo Cortez Acosta tries to implement that grappling game like he did, just being the bigger guy, he might try to wear on Ryan Spann with his grappling. I think Ryan Spann might wrap up a submission. I could see that happening. But I would pick him by finish if I was going to be putting a bet out there. I'm going to be picking Ryan Spann by, I want to say, round 1 submission. I think he's going to get him either get taken down, or not get taken down, attempted to be taken down, or implement his own grappling. Ryan Spann's a decent fighter. And Waldo Cortez Acosta, I mean, I guess you could call him decent because he fraud checked a big, dumb, athletic, stupid guy. Which, hey, better than a lot of other people did. Or a couple other people. Moving on. Wait, did I actually even make... Kevin Vallejos versus Sung Yu Choi. This is about one of the easiest blowouts I've seen. You have a guy who literally can't win a fight outside of one, which is against Jarno Evans. He loses in every fight, it seems like. He has no chin. We're going to be picking Kevin Vallejos by early stoppage. This is a guy who went to decision with John Silva. He actually has wins against guys with winning records. This is something you look for when you have guys coming into the UFC versus, some of the other Contender Series people. This kid's good. He's going to put on a fun performance. I am pumped to see this fight of any of the fights. But it's just because Kevin Vallejos is back. It's not really because he's fighting Sung Woo Choi. I would like to see him take a big step up after, or not, maybe not a big step up, but a step up after this if he blows him out quick. I've got him by round 1 knockout. I think this is going to be an easy fight for Kevin Vallejos. Might get caught a little bit early, though. Maybe. Moving on to Dayer Nurgozai versus Bringenson Ribeiro. I'm pretty sure that Nurgozai missed weight, but that just tells me he wants to win. He's from Almaty, Kazakhstan. He does have a tiny reach. But most of them kind of do, honestly. The guys from the Caucasus region. They're kind of stumpy, but it works. Makes their grappling a lot better. Stronger. I'm going to pick Nurgazai. He's been a pretty decent prospect. He's beaten some good fighters. Well, maybe not good. Good, respectively, you know. Brinson Ribeiro has too, but his fights in the UFC have just not been impressive in any way, shape, or form. At least his last three. Yeah, none of his UFC fights have been impressive. I'm gonna be picking Dair. I'm pretty sure he fought a dude that had been in the PFL. I'm really not sure. I can't remember. But he's beaten some decent fighters. Brinson has taken some KOs, or a KO, at least, recently. I've got Dair. He's missing weight, already cheating. In my opinion, that should start you in round 1 down a point. It should be 10-9 your opponent already whenever you miss weight, but it is what it is. We'll be picking Nurgazai by... I think he's going to play it a little safe, get a decision. But I don't know. No clue. I actually don't really know the dude's ground game or game all that well. I don't know if he's a ground game guy. I know the head kick on Contender Series was good. So maybe he actually does get a finish striking. I'll be picking Brinson Ribeiro to get knocked out in round number 2, actually, after remembering some of his performance. Moving on to the bantamweight division, we've got Damon Blackshear versus Cody Gibson. I'm going to be picking Damon Blackshear, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you don't like the loss against Miles Johns, Montel Jackson. Yeah, Mario Batista. Those are two good losses to have. Yeah, he submitted Cody Stamann. I think he's gonna get a finish here in this fight. Cody Gibson is a decent grappler though, so maybe not. He's getting older. Blackshear's shorter, or same height. I mean, yeah, we're gonna be picking Blackshear. Get this fight done by decision. He's just a finisher though. I really like Blackshear's finishing ability. I'm going to be picking him to win by knockout. He's against a 37-year-old bantamweight. Yeah. His wins are against Brian Kelleher and Chad Anheliger. Two easy names to say back-to-back, I guess. Yeah. We'll be picking Blackshear to win by KO. Let's go round number 1. I think he's going to come out motivated after a win, but he had just been on a couple losses. He just beat Cody Stamann, submitting him. It's a good look. I think that he's going to come out, take out Cody Gibson pretty early, and then we'll move on to the lightweight division. We've got Alexander Hernandez versus Kurt Holobaugh. I just don't think Kurt Holobaugh is very good. I also think Alexander Hernandez should have been a good fighter. He should be a contender in the lightweight division had he just played out his career the way had he trained and got the skill set he was supposed to, because early in his career he actually looked good. This was one of those prospects that you saw early and you're like, dude, this kid could be a champion. Boy, did that not work out. But he has been doing decent recently. His fight against Austin Hubbard, all right. But, I mean, this is a dude who beat Jim Miller. Like, sure, he lost to Bill Algeo and Damon Jacks, and oh my god, that's such a tough loss to have. Does he lose to Kurt Holobaugh? This old fucking man. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's not going to lose to him. This dude's 38 years old at lightweight. Alexander Hernandez was supposed to be a decent prospect. Maybe he's going to bring forward his former prospect self. Holobaugh not getting chinned by Trey Ogden doesn't surprise me. Ogden just doesn't seem to be a great fighter. Hernandez is shorter with a longer reach. I will be picking Hernandez to get the win by, let's go with decision. I do think Hollowball's an old man. Hollowball could get it done, though, I guess. He did just win the Ultimate Fighter, if I remember right. What a horrible thing. Anyways. Man, he did just submit Austin Hubbard, too, huh? Well, I guess we'll see how that works out. I think Alexander Hernandez is the better of the two, or his career should have been better. Maybe that's my bias taking over. Alessio Zaleski dos Santos versus Chidi Njokuani. This is a close fight, but I feel like the frame of Njokuani's just a problem for guys like Alessio. Like his loss to Randy Brown. Him competing with Renat Fakhretdinov is crazy. Abubakar, that's a good win. Benoit Saint-Denis, he beat the shit out of Benoit. And then Zach Scroggin. I mean, that one was a giveaway. We knew that was going to happen. Yeah, his loss to Randy Brown. I mean, Randy Brown is a higher level fighter than Njokuani, and I can see as to why that would happen, but Njokuani's Muay Thai is really good. If Alessio doesn't work some ground game, it's going to be a long night for him, I think. But I'm going to be picking Njokuani by KO. I think he actually gets the job done. Clinching, knees, long-range strikes. Does Alessio get old? He is at welterweight. Like, we do have to think about that. I mean, Chidi isn't much younger, but maybe Alessio is just that much higher of a level fighter. I mean, this dude did split decision with Reese McKee here. Jared Gooden lost to Olexashek. Lost to Gregory Rodriguez. Fuck. Alessio's a good fighter. But I will be picking... I think Chidi gets it done. Good underdog pick. Fuck. No. Alessio. I've got Alessio winning the fight. He's the more dangerous of the two fighters. No, I'm just kidding. I don't fucking know. This fight is 50-50 to me. Alessio could just be old at this point, but it's not likely. He's more likely to use his grappling. Yeah, I really don't know. I'm going to be picking Alessio to win by decision. I think he will probably end up using grappling. He is a very seasoned guy. This is the same guy who beat Sean Strickland, if I'm not mistaken, by will kick. I know that was some time ago, but I mean, this dude has fought nothing but high-level guys recently outside of Zach Scroggin. And yes, he might have lost to Randy Brown and had a draw with Renat, but That's better than any of the wins you can say for Chidi. And I think that matters here. Actually looking at the fight like that. Yeah. Moving on to Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze. I'm pretty sure we are literally for Marvin Vettori, we're one fight out from their last fight. It was only 2 years ago. Kind of surprised we're getting a rematch for that. Don't really know why we were clamoring for that, but okay. Vettori has fought 3 times since then, looking a little better and better each time. Dolidze. I don't know if I said Vettori. I meant Dolidze. It's just tough. Like, what has Vettori done with his time off, other than get 1-2'd in a casino by Brendan Allen? Has he gotten better? It's hard to say. Dolidze has gotten better. Vettori won the last fight. Dolidze's the bigger of the two for sure. Looking at the weigh-ins earlier today, he was the bigger guy, but the fight was close before. Dolidze beat Anthony Smith. I mean, that on itself says on paper that he beats Marvin Vettori easily. That's the on-paper GOAT right there. He's fought the tougher competition recently. He's fought Nasruddin Imavov, which in hindsight's not a bad look. Anthony Smith and Kevin Holland. Holland is a quitter. Anthony Smith, same. He got the fuck beat out of him by Cannonier. Took a year and some time off. It's a tough call, man. It really is. If you think Marvin Vettori got better, you think he'll win this fight. That's what I assume. If he has gotten any better, he wins this fight. But he doesn't win by finish. I've got Dolidze by decision. He does fade, though. Dolidze does fade. I can't remember anything about their first fight. I don't remember if it was main event, co-main. Let me check real quick. Sorry about that. We're going to be doing some quick research. It was not the main event. It was at UFC 286. Osman versus Edwards. Marvin Vettori won a 3-round decision last time. It was a close fight if I remember right, though. This being 5 rounds, Marvin doesn't fade as badly as Dolidze does. But Dolidze may understand that right now is his only time he's going to have for a title opportunity. He's not going to win one. But maybe he's just shit enough to beat Dricus. I don't know. Anyways, I've got Vettori by decision now. Flip-flopped on a lot of picks. But, yeah. Vettori decision. I think he's going to last longer. I think he's going to be the better of the two fighters. You know, I think he's going to improve more from their last fight. Hopefully. But Marvin Vettori's stupid, and trusting him is dumb, so. But looking at his win-loss, you know, hey, red, green, red, green, red. What's next? You know what I'm saying? Green. Anyways, we'll be saving that. That's what we've got as our picks. We'll go to how we've been doing lately. Last card, I think, we went 6-10 again. 2 bad weeks in a row, in my opinion. Just not good on the main and co-main. We got it wrong. Bahamundez we got right. You know, there's that shit. And then we got Hoofy. We called that one almost perfectly. I called for a left hook, and he fakes a left hook, throws a wheel kick to knock him out. Close. Joshua Van beating Race Ura in easy fashion. Bruno Fajeda sending Armin Petrosian from the UFC, no longer with them anymore. Carlos Leal beating the ever-living shit out of Morono. We called that. Marion Santos beating Francis Marshall. And then Ozzy Diaz defeating Jordan Santos. We got a lot of fights wrong. Well, only 4 out of 10 wrong, but, you know, we're chasing that perfect card. Anyways, fucking bye.